and welcome, I'm your CodeMonkey. So Unity 7 is coming, and it's actually going to be one of the biggest Unity releases of all time. It is going to include quite a lot of things that a lot of people have been asking for a long time. So first of all, the unified random pipelines. So instead of having multiple, we're just going to have URP, so it's going to be much similar. Then of course, Surface Sketch GI. This is their global illumination tool, so you can have very high quality lighting without having to bake anything. It's going to look gorgeous by default. Then ECS for all. This is where Unity Dots, the data-oriented technology stack, the tool stack that allows code to run literally 200 times faster. That one is going to be much more integrated with game objects. That is going to allow for a lot of really awesome, insanely performant tools. All of these and a bunch more benefits are really awesome. But honestly, perhaps the most important one of all is the fun one, the CoreCLR. This one is so insanely important, so insanely good, but at the same time, its top of that is not really very marketable, it's not really sexy, it's not really very visual. So a lot of people might know this term, but might not actually know what exactly does this entail and why this is so important. So in this video right here, I want to try to explain that so you know why this matters so much and why Unity 7 is going to be so awesome because of it. Essentially, this is all about how Unity actually runs your C# code. And before I explain what exactly is CoreCLR and how it makes things different, let me first talk about the benefits. Let me first talk about how awesome things will be once Unity 7 comes around. So one of the big benefits is this one right here. Is how thanks to CoreCLR, code will only be recompiled exactly only what changed. Right now, if you modify a single line of code, it is basically going to recompile your entire code base. And on big projects, that can take a serious amount of time. Whereas with CoreCLR, by default, that one is only going to compile the affected code. So if you modify just one single line of code, it is only going to recompile a tiny thing, which should be insanely fast, as opposed to recompiling the whole thing. So this bonus alone, this one is going to massively improve your iteration speed. Another great bonus that might be really good has to do with how CoreCLR handles garbage collection, and how the garbage collector is actually quite a lot more intelligent than the current garbage collector. One very great benefit is how it actually leads to a lot less fragmentation. So right now, if you've got a bunch of objects in memory and you delete a bunch of those objects, if so, you end up with a bunch of empty fragmented spaces. Whereas with the garbage collector included in CoreCLR, that one is smart enough to know how to grab all those objects, figure out all of those empty spots, and basically compress everything. So in there, you end up with just one contiguous location in memory. That helps out quite a bit so your CPU doesn't have to constantly jump around between memory. If everything is nice and compact, everything becomes quite a bit faster. So because this, Unity projects will be A, more memory efficient, and hopefully quite a bit more performant. And the biggest benefit of all is this one right here. So Unity developers are probably very used to seeing this pop up right here, reloading domain. This happens every single time. And a lot of people get quite annoyed because if you combine domain reload with code recompilation, combining both of those on a long-term project can actually take 1 to multiple minutes to actually recompile the game and you can play again. This is yet another massive improvement with CoreCLR. CoreCLR will no longer have domain reload. So as soon as you make a change in the code, it is going to, first of all, recompile just that one change, so compilation will be much faster, and then domain reload will simply not exist. So you just save your code, alt-tab back into Unity, press on play, and you're instantly going there. So in terms of speeding up iteration speed, that is going to be an insane benefit. It literally can go from taking multiple minutes to taking literally just a few seconds. Although for this benefit, if you want to try out this one, you can actually already try it. Unity has had something called fast interplay mode for quite a while, and this one is basically getting rid of domain reload. On your projects, you can just go into edit, then go into project settings, then over here go on the editor tab, and over here just scroll down, and you've got this one right here, the interplay mode settings, and when entering play mode, so this is the default one, reload domain and scene. That is what takes that giant progress bar that takes quite a while, but you can modify this to do not reload domain or scene. And once you do that, look at this, as soon as I press on play, there you go, pretty much instantly, I'm right there, I'm already playing the game. Whereas if I disable it, as soon as I hit on play, there you go, it takes 1, 2, 3, something like 4 seconds in this very small project, whereas with the other one, as you can see, it's basically instant. So right now, if I'm on this project, if I make a change in the code, hit on save, go there, and there you go, it's taking 1, 2, 3, something like 4, 5 seconds, like 7 seconds, 8 seconds to recompile, press on play, it takes another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds, there you go, it takes quite a bit. Whereas again, with all those changes, thanks to CoreCLR on Unity 7, with those, as soon as I modify a little piece of code, it recompiles pretty much instantly, press on play pretty much instantly, there you go, just like that. So even on this very simple demo, this demo right here, it's just a very basic minigame. On this one right here, it takes something like, what was it, like 10 seconds to recompile and reload domain. So compared to that 10 seconds going back to under 1 second, yep, you can see what a massive improvement it makes. Now, like I said, right now you can already try this out, the fast interplay mode, and this one is basically going to be default from version 6.6 onwards. However, you should be aware this has some specific quirks. The main one being how you have some static fields, kind of like this. Let's say I've got some static counter counting down how much fire am I putting out. If that one is constantly increasing, if you exit play mode and then come back to it, this one is not going to be reset. If you don't reload domain, this one basically persists from play mode to play mode. Whereas if you do reload, you can assume this one's going to be reset to 0 every single time. So that is something you have to keep in mind if you have some static fields or importantly some static events. Those will not be reset automatically if you have the fast interplay mode. so that is something you need to handle, and there are many ways to handle. With Unity 6.6, Unity added the Lifecycle Management API, and this one contains a bunch of things, including this one right here, the Autostatics Cleanup attribute. So if you want to basically reset that automatically, you can go ahead and use this. Super simple, just use an attribute and it's fixed. Alternatively, over here, you've got a bunch more things that you can do. You've got a bunch more attributes, a bunch more callbacks, if you want to do some more complex things. If you want to learn more about that Lifecycle API, I really recommend this video by Getamend. It's a great tutorial on how all of those callbacks, all those things work. So if you want to do some more complex things with resetting statics, you can go ahead and use those. But in most cases, just a simple attribute that is probably going to be enough. So if these are the main awesome benefits that we're going to get with Unity 7, the code only recompiles what is necessary, the memory is more packed together, which should hopefully be a little bit more performant, and domain reloads, those are basically going away. Put all three of those together and you can see how much this is going to impact game development in Unity. Iteration speed is going to be much faster, and iteration speed is insanely important for making games. You are constantly iterating on new mechanics, new features, new things. So making this quite a bit faster, that is definitely going to be insanely important. So given the fact how you probably press on play, let's say 1,000 times whilst making your game, if every single time is, let's say, 1 minute faster, 1 minute times 1,000, that is an insane amount of time that you're going to be much faster, just by default, just by using Unity 7. In general, the benefits are, okay, so Unity 7 is going to be using CoreCLR, which also means it is going to be using .NET 10, whereas right now Unity is basically on a very ancient version of .NET, so if you want to use the latest features, you really can't. And same thing for C#. Right now, Unity is currently stuck at C# 9, again, thanks to Mono, because that's the only version that Mono supports. But now, as soon as they swap out to CoreCLR with Unity 7, all of a sudden it is going to be instantly up to the latest C# version, which currently is C# 14. So if these benefits are awesome, now let's see specifically exactly what exactly is CoreCLR. So in case you don't know, this is basically how your code runs. You've got the C# code, this is what you write. Then C# code is run through a compiler, and that compiler converts your C# code into intermediate language. And then that intermediate language, that one still does not run on your CPU directly. Nope. That one's actually processed by the runtime itself. That is what basically converts that intermediate language into actual machine code, and then the machine code, that is what actually runs on your CPU. This is basically all the steps that your code takes from actually writing the code that you write until actually running on the CPU. And CoreCLR is basically this layer right here, that is the one that is going to be replaced. Right now, Unity has something called Mono, and that is basically going to be replaced with CoreCLR right here on this layer. This is the layer that handles the JIT compiler, the garbage collector, runtime services, all of that. So yeah, basically this is the only layer that is being swapped out, everything else stays the same. Now that is important because a lot of people have asked me, okay, so does this mean we're going to write C# code differently somehow? And the answer is nope, not really. All your C# code still stays exactly the same, so for you as a developer, really nothing changes. All that changes really on Unity side. They are swapping out the runtime with something completely different, but for you as C# developer, you just keep writing the same C# code as always and everything runs just the same. Now, historically, the runtime that Unity has used is called Mono. That is what they have been using since the very start of Unity, all the way back in like 2001, 2002. And the reason why they went with Mono is simply because of this, because basically when Microsoft introduced .NET, that was only supported on Windows. If you wanted to write and run C# code on another platform, like let's say Mac or Linux, you could not do it with .NET itself. But with Mono, you could. Mono was basically cross-platform, so that is why Unity chose them. Because part of the reason what makes Unity Unity is the fact that it can actually make builds that run literally on anything. So you can make PC games, you can make Mac games, Linux games, you can make games for every kind of console, for every kind of mobile, Android, iOS, all those things. The whole point behind Unity is being multi-platform, so you make your game once and you run it everywhere. And part of the reason what makes that possible is exactly Mono, so that is why Unity used Mono. But by now, Mono is very much ancient language. It is no longer actively supported, it is basically just on life support. And Microsoft themselves a few years ago started working on CoreCLR, which is intentionally meant to be multi-platform. So by Unity swapping their layer from using Mono to using CoreCLR, they basically get all the modern .NET runtime, they get all the modern benefits, all the modern bonuses, they get all of that by default without having to do any kind of engineering work, just because Microsoft themselves are already handling all that. Now this I think is really important because it means that Unity no longer has to reinvent everything itself. Until right now, Unity has basically needed to have some kind of team of engineers that were working on Mono itself. They had to keep Mono up to date because it was no longer being supported. Whereas now, after making this change, they can basically leave all that engineering work to be done by Microsoft themselves, where Unity really just focuses on making Unity itself. I think that's a really awesome thing that is probably going to be really great. I imagine there's a ton of very talented engineers working at Unity whose sole job for the past few years has been basically keeping Mono up to date. And now all those engineers, instead of being forced to work on that, they will be free to work on all kinds of different projects, different packages inside Unity, because they no longer have to do that because all their engineering work is going to be done by Microsoft themselves. So hopefully that will actually lead to quite a lot of very nice benefits. Having quite a lot of those engineers working on all kinds of packages hopefully means that new packages come out faster, more stable, more robust, better, and so on. So yep, this is definitely one of those changes that just makes Unity just better objectively by default. Now, of course, the important question is, okay, so all of this seems really awesome. When is this actually happening? And the answer is that they put out the roadmap about 1 month ago. And right now we are on here, so we currently have version 6.5. and Unity 7 will be coming out sometime in Q1 of next year. So something like, I'm guessing like February, March, April, that kind of thing. And they've also mentioned there's going to be an alpha by the end of this year, something like December. So thankfully, all of these really awesome benefits are not really too far. Yep, that's going to be Unity 7. That is how CoreCLR, which is something that doesn't really sound too sexy, too visual, too marketing, too interesting, but is something that is generally insanely important, insanely useful, and that is generally what I think is going to make Unity 7 the best version of Unity there's ever been. So hopefully in this video you understood why CoreCLR is so important, why it matters so much, and why it is what is going to make Unity 7 a really awesome vert. If you want to learn game dev, you can check out my free complete courses. For example, my problem solving course, which is great for intermediates, or my free 12-hour C# course. But if you can afford it, I'm currently running my CodeMonkey Summer Bundle. This includes all the premium versions of all my courses and all my games with one deep discount. The premium version of my C# course contains interactive exercise, so you have to actually write code. This makes sure that you are actually learning by doing. The problem solving course, like I said, is really great for intermediates. This one contains over 200 practical exercises for you to improve all of your debugging and problem solving skills. It also includes my multiplayer course, so you can learn all about netcode for game objects and netcode for entities, as well as my dots course, which helps you make games that run insanely fast, like literally the same code 200 times faster. Then of course my Kitchen Chaos course, my Blender course, as well as all of my Steam games. Like I said, the bundle is running just until the end of this month, so if you want to check out my free courses, or if you can afford it, check out my really awesome summer bundle. Check it out with the link in the description. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.